Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet of NCAA football, Highland Scotties TeamBuilder Dynasty, and this is Scotties Sports Talk here with your host, Todd Olden. So we are back here for another week of reviewing last week's game between the Wyoming Cowboys and the Highland Scotties. As you take a look there, Scotties win this one 59-19, a 40-point win there. As you take a look there, Highland did a great job there in the passing game as they threw for 377 yards, and that is by the way of Mr. Flanagan. Once again, 27 of 45, he threw 60% of his passes, and he had 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 3 sacks. Of course, those 2 interceptions were interceptions that wasn't really needed. I think, at least talking to Coach Teddy Bonds there, he said that those were interceptions that were interceptions that he just could have took his time there and watched what he was doing as he was just being a gunslinger there and throwing the ball around a little too much there. He says he's going to try. He's been trying his best here, especially for this week coming up in practice, to kind of scale back here, and we'll explain more about that here in just a bit. But Kason here, 22 carries, 162 yards, 3 touchdowns there. A great day there in the running game. Coach Bonds went on to say about that. He said it was a great performance there from Kason, and he's hoping that will move on and be just a builder on for him next week when they play against Tennessee. As for receiving, 9 receptions there for Hunter Cannon, 111 yards with 1 touchdown. Little, 5 receptions, 81 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. Great day there for him. A really good catch there in the end zone. I think it was his first touchdown there that he got there. That he just did great with the ball. And of course, they're hoping to open up the pass or the running. Both the running and the pass, but especially for Little, he says that last week he felt really good, and he's hoping that maybe this week coming up here he'll get more catches against Tennessee. We'll have to see. And then, of course, defensively there, we had a great tackle and a fumble recovery there from Ramsauer. He had 5 tackles, 2 tackles for loss and a sack. And like I said, fumble recovery. Robinson, he had 4 tackles, a tackle for loss, a sack, and a forced fumble there. And then Sherman had a really great NIT there as he got the interception. And the big man wasn't able to run it back, but he did get an interception, his first in his collision career. So great game there, you see, for the most part there. And of course, Cowboys had to settle with a couple of field goals there. They did get in the end zone there from their quarterback, but for the most part there, the team did a great job there defensively, only allowing 19 points in the ball game. So to take a look at the team news there, and you see we got a couple guys that did not help us out here this week, as they did not commit, and that's Justin Simon there. We was going after him, a wide receiver there, and also Justin Young, another guy that didn't sign with us, or Marcus Talabou there. He went to Florida State. But Phil Watson, middle linebacker there, he has signed with us. So he's going to be our first commit, and I think here pretty soon we'll have a video about that, about commitments. Now, as for commitments from future players, I will say we will have a video about that here coming up, about how you guys can add your legacy to this franchise by being part of our ball club. So we'll see how that goes here coming up here in the next it should be a special episode of Scotties Sports Talk. We'll mention that and how you guys can be, how we can get your recruits into the game. I will say it's going to have to be an overall of 75. That's going to be the cap right there. So it's going to be a little tough. You guys have to figure that out. But the cap is 75. So no recruits over 75 there. And like I said, we'll have more on that coming up in a special video here sometime here soon, hopefully. We'll have that during the week. But take a look at Tennessee. And surprisingly enough, the biggest news of them all this week, we're ranked. We're ranked for the first time in our Division I football career, collegiate FBS here. So this could be really nice for us to see there the Tennessee's overall leaders in offense and defense there. Take a look at their game against last week's number 16 ranked Georgia. They lost that one. It's a tough one, as they were pretty dominant there at the beginning. Then Georgia, out of nowhere, just really took a hold of the ball game there and just went all out in the second half. This week, well, I will say that Georgia, or I should say Tennessee, is got a good defense there. I think they're ranked 17th in the nation in pass defense there. So if we try to have a game like we did this past week with Wyoming, we're going to be in trouble. There's going to be a lot of opportunities there for them to pick the ball off, and even more so to score on us. So we're going to have to try to avoid that here coming up. As you take a look here at the top 25, you see the Alabama. They're back up at number 1 here, as they were number 2 last week. Switching spots there with Wisconsin. Kansas State had a big jump there from number 9 to number 4 this week, beating Oklahoma State, who now are number 10 in the nation. And there you see those numbers there. And of course, we'll take a look here at some others here in the top 25. But yeah, we get our first ever top 25 ranking. We're ranked at number 24 in the nation, as we have a 6-0 record. And we're also qualified for a bowl. So we got an opportunity here. If we do well, we can be in a pretty decent sized bowl. Now, we still got quite a few games left to play. So we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves there. But you see number 24 ranked this week, and I think if we get a good win here, or a decent win, or at least we can survive, we might get bumped up some there against Tennessee. So we just gotta have a good showing there. I'm sure it's gonna be a very close game. Just in some ways, I feel like it's gonna be the same way like how Stanford was, and I think that's gonna be very impressive to the vote getters there if we can excuse me, if we can somehow knock off the former top 25 team there that was there earlier this season. So there you see the additional details there, who received votes and such there. As you take a look here, Highland, there you see 6-0 there in the Independence. UMass right behind them, 4-2. West Point Army there at number 3. Take a look at Tennessee there in the SEC. They're ranked number 11 right now in the overall standings. They're with a 2-3 record. There you see conference-wise, they are 1-2, and within the division, they have not won a division game quite yet for the SEC. I believe they're the SEC East division. As we'll take a look at that here in just a bit, and we will see exactly where they're at in that division. But Tennessee, not a team that we'll take light with at all. We'll have to go in there and show that we can play against them, and this is going to be a really good test for us, especially now we are ranked here in the top 25. There, coaches said, "Hey, we're going to give you this nod. We're going to recognize you guys, and we're going to see how you guys go." So, with everything plays right, if we can really, for the most part, there run the ball very well. As you see, Kason, he is in the top 5 players right now that's being mentioned for the Heisman, as he had that great performance there against Wyoming last week. We'll see if he can continue that this week, and that's going to be very important for us, as we will have to try to run the ball quite often here. And at least in talking to the coaches there, coaching staff and whatnot, they said that is one thing they are going to be working on this week, is possibly working on some more packages here for the backups to come in a lot more to help out with the running game. So Kason won't be having a heavy load upon himself here. He is going to start, getting some more help as we go along here in this season. So we'll see a lot more guys that we are not accustomed to seeing in the backfield there behind Flanagan and company there. Not to say that Flanagan's not going to be throwing the ball, but there's a good chance that he won't be throwing the ball as much as he was like last week there, where he did have 2 interceptions there, which was really, and for the most part there. And he admits it, talking to him, Flanagan said that there were some times that he was just getting a little too loose out there and not really looking down the field and making sure that his guy was open. So he says he's willing to work hard on that this upcoming week against Tennessee. So we're gonna have to go up there and make sure that Tennessee does not say anything about being on the Rocky Top there in Tennessee. So it should be a good game. Let's take a look there. The final 2 players there for the Heisman there. So Kason up there in that number there. I think if Flanagan did not have those 2 interceptions, I really think that he might have been on this list here this week. But we'll have to see how he does next week coming up. And like I said, we'll see Kason here run a little bit more as they're going to try to really open up the book here when the running game for the ball club. Take a look at your players of the week there for the NCAA. There you see junior from Louisiana Tech, Jalen Ferguson, and your senior there for offense, QB for Washington State, Luke Folk. There are your players of the week there for NCAA. As for the independents, we're about to see who those are here in just a bit. Just take a look there. Oh yeah, Ramsauer, Harry Ramsauer, freshman, red shirt there for defense there for Highland. 5 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a sack, and a forced fumble last week. As for offense, there you see Flanagan once again there, sophomore. Last week there you see his numbers there. Nice job. I had to go check them out and see who the toughest places are, and there you see sitting at number 64 is us there, Highland there. There you are. See a 4-game winning streak at home there. Nice job there for those guys, and just trying to build up that attendance record there. You see 16,112. So nice to see that, and hopefully we'll get up there in the top 50 before the end of the season. But the word is getting around about this ball club here, and the word especially about this series is getting around, as a lot of you have been asking how you guys can be a part of this. And like I said, we'll have a special video about that here coming up, about how you guys can be a part of this great franchise that we're having so far here. But we'll take a look here at Tennessee as we wrap up this video here. The quarterback, there you see Darnay. There you see his numbers there. It's great throw power and great accuracy there. So he's going to be on top of his game, as he's going to be able to do some damage to us there. John Kelly, your halfback junior. There you see his numbers there. Great speed, excellent acceleration, agility. Not so much in great breaking tackles, but pretty decent awareness there from him. But his juke and spin moves are on top notch there. So he's definitely going to be a guy that's going to be slippery if we cannot get a hold of him. And he's going to be out there for quite a while with great stamina. Jenkins, there you see the wide receiver there, 90 speed. So he's going to be a guy that we're going to really have to watch out for. Great route running and also catch. And also catch in traffic from him there, as the Scotties there defensively, they haven't had that many chance going against the great wide receivers here too much. Maybe I think with Stanford, maybe probably the only other team that they had to deal with something like this. But yeah, there you see Tyler Bird. There you see his numbers. Great running, great acceleration, and of course decent catch from him. And again, another guy that we're just going to keep our eye out there. Defensively, there you see Kongbo. There you see his numbers defensively. Excuse me. Great power moves, great finesse, decent block shedding there from him. And he's definitely going to be a guy that we're going to have to watch out for when it comes to the running game there. If he gets to the line too often there, that will probably be a very big issue for us if he's able to get a hold of Kason. Take a look at Bates there, the outside linebacker. Another great defensive guy there. Good zone coverage there, so he's definitely going to be watching us in the passing game there. Kirkland Jr. There you see his numbers there. The middle linebacker, great acceleration, great speed there for his size, and also zone coverage is on top there for him. So won't be able to get too much past these guys when it comes to maybe the try and throw deep, probably more short passes and a lot more, maybe some screens there. Maybe have the halfbacks do a little bit more work this week when catching balls in the backfield there for us. So yeah, definitely you see as Martin there, great pursuit there, great play recognition there for him. And just overall, just looks like this team is going to be a team that this is going to be a really good challenge. Test us if we're actually worthy to have the 24th ranking of college football for us. So we'll see how that goes coming up in the next video. As you guys stay tuned for more Highland Scotties football here. So far, I want to thank you everyone that has supported this channel and has given us positive feedback on this. Thank you guys so much. I very much appreciate it. It's been a fun series so far, and it's only getting better as we go along here. But if you do enjoy the series, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Scotties football here on ESGNet. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Discord, and Tumblr. The links are down below in the comment or in the description there. Check us out there. Be a part of the ESGN Nation. And again, I want to thank everyone so much for the great positive feedback that you guys have been giving us here for this series and all our other series here on the channel. As always, you guys keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you guys next time.